Evening and welcome once again to Gaming Under the Influence. I'm Mike here with Alex at Green Dragon CVR in Woodbridge, Ontario, Vaughn's local source for fucking craft beer and what we are once again here to talk to you about, which is, of course, video games.
Fucking video games.
Hope you guys are doing as well as we are, and we're nursing a nice little buzz. We got a fucking few topics we've been circulating between us for the past couple of days that we're rearing to jump into, and salute, viva la stout.
Fucking cheers, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, 2.
Viva la Tony Hawk.
Oh yeah, this is infinitely better. This is like...
Tastes like a raspberry cookie, you know? Those little, the poofs?
Yeah.
These guys. I think there's a picture of it, you know? On the front. The little raspberry jelly cookies.
Oh,
you know when you went to your Nana's house and they had those cookies?
I've never seen them anywhere but my Nana's house.
Yeah, me too.
It's like they don't even exist outside.
We actually call them Nana cookies.
Yeah.
Because they probably don't exist outside your Nana's.
God, for fucking losers.
Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, so this is much better. Much better.
It's very good. Yeah, we're also drinking a couple of other things here.
I can focus now.
Cool, man. So what have you been playing this week?
I fucking played a shit ton of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and I can't tell you how happy I am this game came out.
Fuck, man.
I fucking love 1 and 2.
I really want to hear about all this.
I love the whole series in general. Like, I played fucking 1, 2, 3, 4. I never played 5 because that was the one that was made on current gen that was fucking dog shit, apparently, but...
What happened with that? Who develops this shit?
I don't even know. This one 1-2 remaster is done by Vicarious Visions, I think. Or just
Are they
one
the
of
OP fucking?
No. Neversoft was the original developers way back in the day. They did like 1, 2, 3, 4. They did Underground, probably Underground 2, all the good ones. And then things started to take a turn. Neversoft eventually went under.
Fuck, I remember the eyeball
that gets like stabbed. That was like the coolest
what else
thing,
did they
right?
do though? They did some other shit too, right?
Probably. If we look it up, I'm sure they've done.
I fucking sure shit didn't play Tony Hawk yet. I know that, so I must have played it too.
Yeah, they've probably done something else. I mean, they must have, right? But now it's in the hands of Vicarious Visions, who I think did Pro Skater 5, which was shit at the end of the day, which is crazy. We always talk about this, right? Like, they took on the franchise and they made their own game, and it sucked. And now it's like, well, let's remake 1 and 2, and they fucking did it like
that was current gen. That
bang
game
on. That was a current
that was probably
gen
like
game.
peak like shit Activision.
It was. You're right. It was also peak shit Activision, like just throwing crap to the wall.
That was like
giving
this, earlier this console gen was probably when every fucking of the major pubs, except for Bethesda, you know, they probably now
they did the
are
reverse.
Just,
they did the reverse.
Yeah.
They were good.
They started
first.
quite strong, eh?
Yeah, and
with
then
Prey,
they went to
a couple
shit.
of decent entries in the. Yeah, then they.
Wow, they did some work on the Call of Duty series.
Did they? Oh yeah,
Neversoft.
Spider-Man on PlayStation.
Hero.
That's the one I fucking played, bro.
Spider-Man on PS1.
That's the one. That was a
sick
game. That was an amazing game.
Gun? Did you ever play Gun on PS2?
I did, yes.
Man,
can you click on Spider-Man there for a second?
Yeah, I had this game too.
That game was amazing. You fought like a Carnage
it was incredible.
symbiote that like infected all of the supervillains, and at the end you fought Doc Ock, and he was a giant symbiote. Oh, it was sick. That's how I know the eye.
Oh, look at this. Vicarious Visions were also involved in this game as well. So Vicarious Visions have been around.
They've been around since 2000.
They're not some new fucking studio. They've been around.
For 20 years, shit.
I guess they've been tasked at, taking over the Tony Hawk series. And 5 was shit. I don't know if they were involved with that ride one with the skateboard. That was obviously shit. So fuck it. They remastered 1 and 2. Like, to a fucking T. It's almost like 1 for 1 with just updated graphics, and the gameplay is exactly as I remember. The only thing they changed about the gameplay, and you wouldn't even notice, is they sped it up a little bit. Because those old games back in the day, like when you think of them like nostalgically, like you almost see them as like faster because they're arcade games. But when you actually play them, you realize how archaic and slow they are. Because just how old they are. They're clunky as fuck, yeah. So they really like nailed the gameplay, but just made it a little bit more faster, modern. It runs like at 60 FPS on consoles. It looks fucking amazing. They added all that bullshit like HDR and whatever the fuck. So it looks great. And they just nailed the feel of these games, and it's something that I haven't played since fucking years and years because, like I said, they've been shit. 5 was shit. The last good one might have been like Underground 2, or even for stretching things they had They had like American Wasteland, which were sort of the tail end of like good Tony Hawk games. And they came out with Project 8 on the PS3 and Xbox 360, and that was like okay, but they were never able to achieve the fucking greatness of these original ones. So I guess that was probably, you know, led to some of their line of thinking. They're fuck it, let's remaster 1 and 2. They're great games. If we can nail these, bang. And I like it. I'm digging it. Like it's a fun thing to just jump into and play it. Like, you know, when you don't want to be too emotionally or mentally like invested in like Sekiro or fucking Code Vein or whatever the hell else. So it's been like the perfect. I feel like a kid over the last weekend because it's like I've been excited for 2 games. I've been playing Code Vein and Tony Hawk, and just going back and forth between them just for no reason, just because I have been playing both and I've been really like sucked in. I felt like a fucking like this really good feeling I haven't really felt in a long time. It's been fucking awesome. That's
sick, man.
I'm fucking
it's
pumped about it. Yeah, it's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 2 is fucking sick. They did a good job.
It's nice to jump back and forth between two of those different kinds of games, for the contrast.
Something to really like get into, and then something to just casually, like the Tony Hawk games are super arcadey. You know, they just throw you in a level with 2-minute timer and they give your goals, get this score, or collect skate in everyone.
I was just gonna say, like, do you think you could lay out the fucking structure of this shit? Like, how does it work? You go, you jump into the game. Like, is there like a progression of any kind?
Yeah, so the career mode, basically when you start the game, you only have the first level unlocked, and you have to do the like career or whatever it's called, like skate park tour or whatever. And what you do is they throw you in the first map. They give you a 2-minute timer, which is the way it is for everyone. And then they have the goals list. So each map has like collect skate. So you go around and they hide the skate letters. Not really hidden, they're around, but you collect skate, and then if you do that within the 2 minutes, it'll check it off, and then you know get. They always have like 3 different scores to get, and those are, you know, your objectives, if you will. And then there's some unique ones per level. Like New York one had like a drain the fountain thing, whatever. You have to like jump up to this high spot that you have to kind of like trick your way over there and like grind a ledge and jump. And then you grind a thing, and then it does that. And then each one has like a secret tape hidden that you can find that's like just another objective, but I think it unlocks like a video or something. It's like the classic, basically the exact same way these games came out. So the same gameplay loop. And then as you check off enough objectives, eventually you'll unlock the next level. And then you can either jump into the next level or continue working on the objectives in the current level. So for Tony Hawk 2, I cleared it all. I did all the... There's only like 8 or 9 levels or whatever. I did all the goals, all the objectives, all the tapes, they had like skill points, because when you create a skater, it has like skill points, right? And you have to unlock skill points like an RPG and put them into like your ollie stats and like your fucking... So that's kind of cool too, right?
That is kind of cool. So... Would you say then that's another interesting point?
The progression is enough to like, you know, make it interesting and to get you like invested in it.
So you progress by fucking making it easier for yourself essentially to perform ollies or other moves.
Honestly, the fucking stats, it's almost like Dark Souls. They're very incremental and you don't really feel them, to be honest, like at all. But like, they're there.
Maybe by the end you would notice. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's more like, yeah, you notice once it's like a big jump, but like. Yeah. As you're like putting points into stuff, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. Sure. But aside from that, it's just mostly the progression of just unlocking the levels by doing the objectives.
Yeah, that's interesting shit. So, would you say then that fucking? It's interesting that there's RPG elements, because my next question was like, how the fuck do they represent the act of skateboarding? Is it closer to a JRPG or more like a Souls game? Like, is your fucking, you know, is the button press supposed to be like, you know, a more adequate sign of the fucking action? Like, is it circumscripted?
No, you know what? If to put it that way, I would say Skate would be a more like a Souls, like where like a direct input 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Because Skate uses like the what's it called, the fucking analog sticks to do precise tricks, and it's more realistic skateboarding game. You can do, you know, a flip trick and then like grind a rail, let's say, down, but like in Tony Hawk it's very arcadey. You can do like grind, flip trick, grind, like, you know what I mean? You do these crazy combos that is obviously impossible in real life. It has that arcadey feel, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you like grind up rails and shit, like it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. So that would be, this game would be more on like the JRPG side. It's totally like bonkers. Yeah, you can jump off buildings and land perfectly. But like it's way more arcadey.
I guess it's more like fucking symbolic than it is.
It's a little more symbolic,
but not totally, right?
But
it's
not
more
totally,
like,
because you're actually, you know, it's depicting
it's not
skateboarding.
A menu-based game.
Yeah,
it's a fucking
not,
yeah. You have some control. You can fall off the rail when you're ollieing, right? Or or whatever.
Yeah. Just
Cool,
it's more like what I said. Yeah.
That's interesting. So fucking maybe all those questions like I'm asking because I'm trying to put together in my head like a picture of like what kind of genre of game this would be. You know? In my fucking fucking way of classifying them there. Like I wonder what I would call it, right? Like
back in the day they came out with 1, 2, 3, and 4. And actually 1, 2, and 3 were all like this, where they would just drop you in a map, 2 minutes, and you do your thing. But in 4 they introduced actual, instead of just meaningless objectives, they actually introduced characters that gave you almost like quests, like goals.
What the fuck was that one that I remember now? Tony Hawk's Underground.
Is that the one? That was the first one that then had like a story.
Yeah.
So all the quests were like, it was almost like every map was almost like a little tiny mini fucking open world where you'd go to different characters, they'd give, then they would push the story along by giving you like quests or things to do, and then the story would unfold that way. So that's what I was about to say, was at that point the games got better. Yeah. Right? And they sort of went from this arcadey to like
more substantial,
more substantial, really good games. And for me to jump back into the 1 and 2, which had the weakest version of this gameplay, right? Like just baseless goals and essentially, and I'm having a blast in it. I want them to keep going and then eventually do the newer ones. You know, like re fucking master Underground, just to have them on current fucking
that would be
hardware,
cool,
right? Have them playable and like preserved almost, because like they did it so good that like it looks identical, but obviously it looks and plays the same, just with like a fresh coat of paint.
Yeah.
Modern graphics.
Yeah.
Like everything else is like to a T. Like I showed you that picture of Skate Heaven. I couldn't believe it. Skate Heaven obviously is a level in the game that you only get after unlocking all the other levels and getting all the challenges. And I was like, fuck, I wonder if they added it in. So I fucking did all the challenges and everything, and I unlocked Skate Heaven. And I was like blown away. I was like, fuck, I remember this level. This is so cool. And like God's laughing at you and you fall. He's like, you suck. It's so I was like, wow, they like, it's all here, dude. Shit, all of it. Oh, I'm loving it, man.
I gotta see that.
Oh, it's so good. I'm telling you.
It's fucking epic.
It's good shit. Yeah, they nailed it. They fucking totally nailed it. So fucking stoked for it. And if they keep going, I feel like it's a pipe dream for me, but I feel like if they kept going and remade the rest of them, like I'd buy them all just to have them on fucking modern consoles. Love it. Some of the fucking my favorite games of the past, you know what I mean? You would do the same thing, right?
Yeah, I would buy fucking everything that I ever liked if they remade it, frankly. Right. I don't give a shit what it costs or
I don't care
they
either.
improved
fucking,
anything, which is what we're going to talk about later.
Even just, which is funny for us to say, even for the convenience of it, because like generally that's not a selling point, but if you think about like something this good that you are very fond of, just to have it easily playable on a current system, like
the thing though with convenience, man, is it's not like a fucking it's not a reason it's not a fucking reason for making something. It's not a good in itself, you know? You don't say this game is good because it's convenient.
It's convenient.
Like that doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the fucking game. But that doesn't mean that there's no place in the universe for convenience.
Convenience, you know? Yeah, exactly.
It's like saying, this thing isn't good because of my subjective taste, but that doesn't mean like I should kill myself. Fuck my taste, right? Like there is a place for that. It's just not in fucking telling us whether or not something is good, right? So there's a place for convenience, and fucking it's in telling me that I should spend my money on the ability to play some fucking shit, right? That's what convenience is for, right? You know, well and good. It doesn't mean that the thing I'm gonna play is good or bad, right?
Right, exactly.
But it does make it convenient to play.
Fuck, I'm all over this thing. Like I was excited for it, but so far, like they remade Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 at some point. They called it like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, and it came out I think on the PS3 and the Xbox 360.
I think I remember
and
that.
And it was like, they did okay. It just didn't have the same feel. They didn't like these guys fucking nailed this one. I can't like stress it. Like I was almost thinking like it might be another Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD situation where it's like, it's all right. They did like a serviceable job, but like no, I was pleasantly surprised that they nailed this game. Like just fucking, they have it all. It's amazing. They even fucking updated all the roster of skaters from the original game. They updated their faces with like what they look like now. Because Tony Hawk's like fucking 55 or something now. He looks old. No, Steve Caballero is like 55, dude. He's like, he's fucking looks old now compared to those games, but he's
it's fucking
badass,
scary,
dude.
how much.
Fuck.
I saw something on the internet where that kid from Home Alone, what's his name, Macaulay Culkin, was like,
he's like 40.
Yeah, 40. What the fuck?
Fuck, we're pushing 30.
Yeah,
You're 30.
I am 30.
I'm 29, dude. hanging
That's
out
some
for
shit,
dear
man.
life, celebrating fucking old video games remastered, like Super Mario 3D All Stars.
I think really once fucking anybody is even fucking vaguely capable of, you know, busting out of the fucking just crust of like work and fucking eating and shitting and fucking that is bodily existence. You know, that itself is worth celebrating. Like, it's what human society exists for, to create the conditions for contemplation, you know, of art or fucking abstract things. And that's why it's great to play your video games. Fuck work, man.
Yeah, I know. Fuck.
Sounds like I'm being facetious, but I'm definitely not, you know. It's definitely more important to play video games.
It's the best. It's the fucking best, dude.
It's a funny thing to say.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel all the time, though.
Me too.
Fuck, right? What are you gonna do? Gotta do one to get the other.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Do
you
one.
have to fucking, you know, you have to eat and fucking shit to be able to think. So there is that trade-off, but it's just to say that, fuck, man,
You have to eat shit to think.
to be able to, right? Just to keep the machinery
Sorry.
running, you know? You just like, you gotta dust that computer up. Sometimes you gotta
I never
fucking...
thought about that. But
Yeah,
you're
you
right.
Gotta keep it plugged in,
Gotta
fuck.
consume, man.
Man, it's a pain in the ass, yeah, but I think it's, you know, games are great for that. It's built into their definition. It's, you know, you're celebrating, you're fucking jumping into some other shit, you're becoming something else virtually. It's badass.
There was there's a couple other big things we should probably touch upon.
Yeah, there's probably a couple of other things. I was just checking our fucking time here that we should probably jump into before we fucking spatter off into the void.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, yeah, there was also Code Vein that both of us, I think I mentioned a little bit about it last week, but now you've had a chance to play it too. And,
I did, yes.
Fuck, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, man.
I'm fucking liking it, you know, a little bit more than I thought I would. Typical Souls, I'm struggling at the beginning, right? Thinking like, fuck, this is gonna be too hard, but like it wasn't that bad. Like I pushed through pretty quickly.
Oh yeah,
and
it's not that hard, especially if you play it with the
yeah, with I always played with a companion because you told me you pretty much have to, and I'll take anything I can get, any advantage I can get in this kind of game. But
fucking hard, yeah. Man, play with the companion, you'll coast through. It's not bad. Yeah.
What strikes me about is that it's so similar to Souls, but also like so fucking different. Like obviously, like obvious things. It's very heavy on story. You know, typical like JRPG. Every time you're like walk into a room or walking somewhere, it's just, you know, the screen flashes black and it goes to a cutscene. You're like, this is, I don't know. It's a little bit too much for me. Like I could take a little bit less of what it's giving you, but at the same time, I mean, there's a lot there. So if you want it, it's there. Like there's a lot to fucking digest if you really like it. Just for me, I feel like, you know, I could do without some of this, you know, JRPG heavy story, right? We've seen it. We've been there, done that, right? Like that's
something that would be worth mentioning a little bit about, actually. Like, I don't know if I talked about this last time, and they do a lot of fucking world building, which I like a lot in this fucking game. Of course. There's a lot of characterization, which is endearing and pleasant to fucking participate in at some points, but my God, like, it's fucking overbearing. Like, you got to do these things called, you find these, I think they're remnant, what are they called?
The like little dream sequences.
Yeah, the remnant things. You find the little shards. Yeah, you can fucking skip them, but you got to find 4 for each of the blood codes, sometimes more.
Ooh.
And every one has an associated fucking little movie thing where you got to walk really slow through this shit while people talk about stuff that, like, sometimes you're just like, man, I just...
Yeah, the last one I did, like, I found it interesting, but I was like, holy fuck, like, how long is this fuck?
Sometimes
it makes you slow walk through it, and you're like, okay.
And sometimes you get 6 story details that I'm like, oh fuck, I'm glad I watched that. But sometimes, like, it's just like plotting and you're just hearing some people talk about their feelings and I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's like someone else's memory or whatever you're going through, right?
Nicola and Mia and their feelings, and it's like,
you're like, all right.
You'll always protect me. Like,
what does this have to do with
shut the
big
fuck
monsters?
Up. Yeah.
I'm such a loser. I made my character look. I followed a thing on YouTube. I basically am Cloud in this game, and I have a big fucking sword too. Now I'll show you later. Nice. It's just this massive sword.
Got your buster.
Yeah, fucking
good, man. Good. It worked out well.
Fun. Yeah, it's sick.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah, but it's fucking. There's a lot of like. So like this goes the opposite way of like the Sekiros and stuff with like tons of fucking stats, all kinds of shit like that. Like.
It does go the opposite of Sekiro. It is dense.
It's also weird in the sense that when you level up, you just level up. You don't put your stat points into...
Yeah.
So like
they have like a lot of density, I guess, it feels like to me, but they have a new way of managing the fucking stats and stuff like that, wherein I guess it's not that unlike Mortal Shell, really. It's like your fucking your build is dependent on
your blood codes,
your
right?
code, your fucking like kind of like your shell.
And then what is a blood veil? Like that
the
supplements
veil is like
it as
just
well?
your it's like your fucking armor essentially.
Yeah, okay.
Except that it fucking also affects like the style, the timing, the fucking style of your parry. It does tell you there's 4 kinds. It tells you what kind they are. The names of them I don't remember, but they all have different animations, and the parry takes effect at different points. Some like right when you hit the button it happens, and some it's like a bit of a delay. And
I don't think
happens.
I've managed one successful parry in that game. I haven't really tried too
They're
much.
They're hard.
But yeah, it doesn't seem like something.
I fucking sat there one day. I got a little
and
fucking.
You just
anyways, I sat
just
there and I just
grinded it
parried.
out.
Yeah, I was like parry, 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 parry.
Yeah, because I mean, it would make sense to be able to do it because dodging. I'm sorry. Dodging is effective. Blocking, not so much.
Yeah,
it's
I never even bother with the
fucking JRPG or
whatever.
whatever.
Even have blocks in
you
these
still
games.
take damage.
Yeah, you take damage because you don't have something equipped that's resistant enough to. It tells you what it will resist.
Really?
And it's,
okay.
I don't think you can use shields in this game, right? Doesn't seem like it.
I haven't encountered one yet, so no.
The bayonet weapons are pretty tight, eh?
Oh yeah, those
I like
are crazy.
Those. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
They give you a faster dodge too, where you can like kind of teleport a bit.
That I didn't notice.
It's really rare, so that I never fucking really equip them. I really like the pole arms. I find that they do a ton of damage, unlike the swords, but they're also fast, unlike the giant weapons, and they don't weigh too much, so you can still do the medium dodge. So I'm looking right now for the fucking blood code that lets you each blood code give you like extra damage when you have a pole arm equipped as your main weapon or a sword or whatever, and I'm looking for the pole arm one specifically right now. It's a great game. I think your fucking thoughts are spot on with all that, though. I too could fucking do without some of the overt like. For me, like I don't know, man.
It's not even like
Souls
poorly
game
done
like,
or anything.
It's not poorly
just,
done. Yeah,
it's just a little too much.
It's hard for me to find something objective to say about it. Like I can't really criticize on any basis. Like I do tend to like that kind of stuff, but I guess when I'm playing Dark Souls, I just don't feel like I.
There's a lot of gameplay trial and error that you need to invest your time in. So then you're just adding all this other shit. And you're like, plus it's like, let's say like you go to a boss and there's a cutscene, and then like you're doing the boss over and over. You just gotta keep skipping these fucking cutscenes like that.
You do.
Stupid little.
And
gripe,
it's so
but,
funny. You come back to life, and your fucking companion's like, "Hey, don't get
you're
frustrated."
Breathing. Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of I noticed like some weird meta shit in there.
There's a lot of meta shit,
right?
Yeah. It's great. Souls has always had that fucking element. This game is like a great Souls homage, but like just in terms of the tone, it's so different.
Yeah,
so
like no one
different.
would if you saw these games side by side, you almost wouldn't pick up on it right away because it's like I said, so similar, but like so fucking different.
It really is. And it really is a great homage to the Souls series. Like they even have some like the Chalice dungeons. They have the depths there.
Oh no way!
These maps you find, you bring it back to a dude at the fucking hub
notice
world.
That either. There's a lot of stuff, man.
There's so much stuff.
Holy!
It is really a nice game. It's a very like lovingly crafted game. It's hard not to admire, really, when you think about it, man. Like somebody sat down, and this is one of those times when like, would you not be surprised to find out it's technically in the God Eater 3 universe?
I'm not surprised only because I've seen artwork of those games and I noticed the settings and a lot of the art.
You even notice in the character creator you can equip the bracelet probably,
Yeah. But aside from that
it makes me feel like kind of like, man, what happened? Like my mind goes to like where the fuck, in the course of like making this game was that decision? Like I wonder if there was a team and they were like, "Hey boys, you're gonna make a fucking game in this universe. You can do whatever you want, but it is in this universe." They're like, "You know what? We're gonna fucking do that, bud." And they thought up some totally fucking
crazy
spacey, like vaguely related shit, motivated by all the events in the God Eater universe. So it is connected, like intrinsically, like all that stuff. Like nothing in Code Vein would happen without the events of the God Eater universe. But at the same time, it's like they build the conditions for it to be literally fucking sealed off, like by this red curtain from the rest of the world. So
that's pretty impressive, more than anything.
It seems to be like, it makes me wonder if not that like these guys were like told that they were going to make a God Eater spin-off, and they were like, "Fine, we're going to make a God Eater spin-off," and they just fucking manufacture the conditions.
This can only mean one thing. 343 needs to make a Halo fucking Souls game.
Yeah, right? Could you imagine? I can't imagine,
Halo
actually.
Souls exclusive on Xbox? How fast did you buy an Xbox?
I would buy it. I would, yeah. That would be sick. I can't believe they haven't done that. I can't believe Microsoft doesn't love money enough not to try,
Try, yeah. With any of their thing. Even like, I don't know, whatever. Fuck.
But yeah, I fucking, Code Vein is a great game, man. I get the feeling that, like, again, somebody probably was saddled with making some spin-off, and they fucking instead just built fucking a loving, like, you know, the game they wanted to make exactly. They're like, what do we love? We love fucking Dark Souls. We love fucking vampires. We love anime boobs.
Anime boobs.
It's an homage to the fucking Souls. Like so many different Souls games, you know? So many different Souls games are people who've played Souls. They realize the magic of that fucking kind of gameplay, and they also realize, like, that it asks for these kind of, like, universal themes to do with, like, the origins of the world and, like, fucking, you know, like, all this crazy deep fucking stuff, right? Or, like, fucking human nature and its wants and desires and its evolution beyond itself, like in Code Vein and what have you.
To me, too, it seems, like, super refreshing that, like, there have been tons of Souls clones and there have been tons of JRPGs, you know, and anime JRPGs, whatever the hell you want to call them, over the years. And it's just, like, a fusion of the two, right? It's pretty refreshing. If you think about it. Like, how many of the Souls games have you played that were, like, vastly different in terms of, like, I guess we'd say, like, art style, maybe, like.
Oh, probably like in terms of their themes and setting, many, but like in terms of whether or not they're all fucking they go for that hyper realism. Probably most of them do.
Most
I would say,
do, right?
Yeah, most of them do.
How about Hellpoint?
Hellpoint, I was gonna say, is the most different one. I was just gonna say,
okay.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if that's because it was the only one built in Unity, and Unity kind of just, you know, probably.
Plus, like,
something
maybe the
comes out of it that's a little
sci-fi setting
that too.
would have a little
but it
bit
had an
too.
almost pastel, like, fucking,
Yeah.
you know, like you're looking at a piece of art kind of vibe, you know, which suited it. And I love Hellpoint, and I finally was able to order some copies, by the way, physically.
That's
so
sick,
that's sick,
I wouldn't mind one of those.
Hellpoint is fucking sick.
After beating Mortal Shell, I'm in. Let's do it. Fucking.
It's bigger though and more tedious.
I know.
It's more tedious,
Yeah,
man. It's
I know,
gonna bust
I
your
know.
balls. But I think that one you can actually play it with two people. So if you play it on PS4,
nice.
I will fucking run through the whole thing with you.
All right, PS
I'm right
Plus,
back at
here
the
we go.
beginning. It puts you right into. I fucked up, man. I fucked up playing that game. Can we talk about this tangentially? We're already at 30 minutes. We might as well just fuck it. It's not important. Yeah, it's not important. Yeah. That's Code Vein. Yeah, I guess, you know, we can summarize by saying it's a fucking, you know, loving homage to the Souls genre, but, like, these guys fucking probably, like, it's my inference that they were, like, tasked with making a game in this universe, and they just made a fucking game that they love instead, you know, with references to so many things that they, like, very coherently and very logically incorporate into a fucking universe that I like a lot. You can read our thoughts about it on the website there, fucking too. And
yeah, fuck yeah. I'm happy I started playing it, and fucking also have had the balance of playing Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like I said, flip-flopping between the both, depending on how I feel, right? And it's a recipe for success, man.
I think
fucking
so.
I played a lot of video games this weekend. It was good.
Yeah, good shit.
And I was busy too, so it's incredible that I got a good chunk of time in, so
That's fucking really cool.
very nice.
There's also that came out today, actually, I think, Kingdoms of Amalur.
Re-Reckoning?
Re-Reckoning. Fuck, they always think up these, like, doofy, like, names. I'm pretty sure it's intentional at this stage.
Remastered
They try
edition.
to, like,
yeah. Re-Reckoning.
Yeah.
I'd be down to give that a try. I don't know much about it, and I've obviously never
is
played the...
pretty. I fucking think pretty highly about that game. Like, I do think it, to get the bad shit out of the way first, you know, very intentionally, it was supposed to be like people say often, and it's not, you know, as is commonly said, because they were first making an MMO and then got fucking put on something else. But it's an open world ish kind of fucking. It's got a world kind of like the Souls games, I would say. Mm-hmm. It's an open-ish world action RPG, fucking with, I don't know how else to say it, MMO style quests and shit like that. You know, you go to a lot of places and collect a lot of shit for people and do this and that, but always like with some fucking voice acted, like fucking, you know, dialogue and world building written by them, or written in the world of the fucking guy R.A. Salvatore that he designed for this fucking thing. He's a famous author of D&D style novels and shit like that. So
cool.
It was a pretty awesome game, man. I did like going through the world and the fucking way they built everything, and like the combat is pretty snappy and tight. It feels really nice, you know, different weapons that you can fucking use, and huge like skill tree to fucking refine yourself in. And
yeah, I guess, right?
Yeah. The dialogue is hilarious too. There's this fucking guy that you meet at the beginning. He's called a fate binder or some shit like that. He reads cards to figure out people's fates. And your character, the whole premise is that, you know, you died, but this gnome, he built a contraption called the Well of Souls, and it fucking puts your stupid ass back in your body. But because of that, you have no more fate. You can pick your own fate.
Okay.
So you go to this guy, he reads cards, and he's like, oh, buddy, you have no fate. And the guy, and one of the he's like this Viking-looking dude. He's probably drunk. You infer from many things. It tells you, like, and so one of the the conversation options, you can respond by saying something like, "No, man, I have a fate. You're probably drunk." And he's like, "Oh, I am." But I'm still pretty good at reading the fucking cards. Like the dialogue is
inconsequential.
It's really funny. It's really funny. I laughed a lot in the first like 10 minutes of fucking gameplay, and I've played this game a couple of times when it originally launched on 360, then on Steam a bunch. And this is probably gonna be my third foray in, and hopefully I get past the like 30-hour mark this time because it's a big beefy motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I doubt it. I doubt it. Like the odds are stacked against me, but yeah, it's a great game though. Like I don't think, to speak to its like fucking status as a remaster or remake like that, they really added anything. It's probably a straight port to my knowledge, and I don't know. It's a fucking recent game, man. That's I don't know what the fuck else you could possibly want from it. It probably has a DLC, which is like some pirate ass DLC. It's pretty sick.
Right. Cool.
Great game, fucking huge, lore written by a fantasy novelist, fucking tight, snappy, fucking action gameplay, great world building. The only thing that sucks is the fucking kind of generic MMO quests, which
yeah,
I'm not a big fan of. There's like
a
lack of bosses, in my opinion. Most of the mini bosses are these same fucking troll enemies you fight like 50 times. I'm not stoked on that, but other than that, man, it's solid. The closest comparison I could probably think of is actually fucking, interestingly enough, I think Darksiders 2,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Darksiders 2.
Still been meaning to get into any of those, really.
Those are all good, too.
Yeah.
I only finished one. I got most of the way through 2. I got to finish it.
Nice.
That would be a good time. But yeah, fucking lastly, I guess we were going to mention a couple of things to do with not only the fucking announcement of that, which this all happened in the past fucking, since we made the last episode, the announcement of the 3D Mario collection. Yeah. Mario 3D All-Stars.
3D Mario All-Stars.
Which, how do you feel about that, Alex?
I'm stoked on the fact that we're getting mostly Super Mario 64. And then, of course, like, Sunshine is incredible as well. And Galaxy is a fucking solid 3D Mario game. I did dabble in that one a little bit. I'm just excited the fact that we're getting it on modern consoles. One of my biggest things is, like, if you have the library, like, bring it up somehow, whether it's digital. In this case, it's a limited like cartridge release, which is fucking weird, but whatever. Fuck.
Probably want to make it collectible, but
I'm hyped. Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I just want to. I want to have, like, I've said this a lot in the past. I want to have like Ocarina of Time playable on my Switch, and like the Pokemon games, even like Red and Blue. I don't care how crappy they look. I just want to have them there, right? Like on a modern console, easy, ready to go.
I'd be stoked to play
that.
Why the
fuck not? We've come a long way.
Yeah, we definitely have. Well, I'm fucking happy to cut it off.
Yep, I think we're good for this week.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Those are our thoughts on fucking old games sold for new.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck you is the ultimate solution. Buy them anyways.
Pretty much.
Let us know what you think.
If you like them. If you don't, hey, don't buy it. Fuck it. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care, guys. It's been an excellent jaunt.